My best friend pretended to be my friend for years just to sleep with me. We met in college while living in the same shared house. The rent was cheap and everyone was broke, so about 15 men and women lived there. It was honestly a hellscape. The house was dirty and poorly maintained. But the people were nice and I made some really good friends there. One of them was Mike. I didn't feel a romantic connection, so I wasn't interested in him that way. Still, since we lived together and attended the same college, we spent a lot of time together, grew close, and eventually became friends. Over the next 5 years, we both dated other people and were always comfortable talking openly about our relationships. Mike never behaved inappropriately towards me and never crossed boundaries with his GFs. He was loyal, respectful, and a genuinely good person. That said, there were 2 moments when he showed romantic interest. When we first met, he flirted with me once, but I didn't reciprocate. Later, after I ended a 2-year relationship, about 4 years into our relationship, he flirted with me once again. This time, I turned him down more firmly. I wasn't unkind, but I wanted to be very clear so there would be no false hope or confusion. That 2-year relationship breakup was very difficult and I needed a lot of therapy afterward. Honestly, that was the main reason I turned Mike down. I had just come out of a bad relationship and I didn't want to jump into another one. That wouldn't be smart or healthy. That was over 1 year ago. I have been single for quite some time now and haven't been casually dating either. I used this time to heal and grow. Which brings me to this past weekend. Mike and I have been talking every day, without fail, for over a year. We talk only through messages and calls since we now live very far apart. He decided to come visit me. I was really happy about it. I offered for him to stay at my place to save money. I live alone and have space, so I prepared a spare bed for him before he arrived. When he got here, it wasn't awkward at all. We've known each other for 5 years and have been best friends for most of that time, but as New Year's Eve approached, he asked if he could kiss me. This time, I felt like I was in a place in my life where I could trust again. I'd known Mike for years and I believed he wouldn't hurt me, so I said yes, and we kissed. We're older and more mature now, so the kiss naturally evolved into something more intimate. During the rest of his visit, we shared a very personal and intimate experience. We slept in the same bed, took showers together, watched movies cuddling, and even went to the movies holding each other the entire time. It all felt natural, personal, and cozy. Then his visit ended and he went back home. I wasn't expecting a full-blown relationship or even a FWB situation. I simply expected us to talk about what had happened and figure out what it meant or where we should go from there. But now he doesn't reply to my messages anymore. We used to talk every day for hours, and now there is only silence. Why didn't you bring this up directly the next day? He was on the road the next day, so I wanted to give him space, but then he started ignoring me afterward as well. Yeah, I wouldn't take it personal. Sounds about the average experience with straight male friends. Not saying that to be rude, but my non-straight male friends just wouldn't and would protect our friendship. Sex ruins friendships. Straight males, on the other hand, you have to know better. Maybe he is sorting things out mentally, or maybe he got what he wanted like you suspect. I'm truly sorry. Yeah, I thought I knew him after 5 years. I thought we would be the exception to the rule and sex wouldn't ruin our friendship. Update. A lot of people asked for an update and I didn't think there would be one for a few more days, but here it is, the final outcome. Mike messaged me. He sent a text like usual, completely ignoring the ghosting and everything that had happened between us. I replied normally and we talked a bit about nothing in particular. I was at work at the time, so I waited until I got home to ask him directly what was going on. When I got home, I sent him a message saying I felt like he had been avoiding me. He replied that he wasn't avoiding me, that he was just busy playing games and forgot to talk to me. He also said he didn't think the vibe between us was weird or different. I then asked him what our week together had meant to him. He said it was just a couple of friends having fun and nothing more. He doesn't want anything romantic with me. So yeah, this isn't the happiest update, but it's definitely the most realistic one. Thank you to everyone who left comments on my previous post. He wasn't cheating with me like many of you suggested, and he wasn't confused in sorting out his feelings either. We're still friends, and I meant what I said before. I'm just glad he didn't disappear completely. He's still my friend, and I respect his decision. I can't put the link to the original post here. Ask in the comments if you were confused. Why would you continue being friends with him after he manipulated you, got what he wanted, and then gaslighted you? I'm so confused. This might sound dumb, but I'm really grateful for the responses I received. When I wrote the update, I was so blinded by the rejection that I didn't see how bad the situation actually was. Reading the comments helped me snap out of it and realize, hey, that was actually really shitty. Nah, I'd ghost him. He's not a friend at all. Real friends have boundaries in place. He wanted to get his dick wet, and now he's successfully done that. I can predict the future. He'll give her breadcrumbs, give her bare minimum contact to satisfy her, and when he's horny again, use OP, then repeat the cycle. Till OP wakes up to herself, realizes her value is much more than what he's giving her. Oh no, we are never sleeping together again. I did feel a spark, but it will pass. I won't let myself be treated as disposable, and if he wanted something romantic, this was his chance. And we have a bit of info on why OP is certain it's over. Thank you for the message, but it is time the people on this post accepts he has no romantic feelings. I didn't put the whole conversation, but it was bad. Not that he owes me anything, but he made it very clear we meant nothing. Looking forward for the second update after you drop his ass. I don't plan on posting another update. There's nothing more to update. If this is about closure, just know that I won't beg or humiliate myself, and I won't beg for friendship either. We're not talking like we used to, so I'm sure the friendship will simply fade out. You deserve better, OP. I hope you know that and he regrets his loss. This next story is titled, The Girl 22F I'm 27M Dating jokingly said our mutual friend 26M should have gotten with her instead of me, and it hurt me. For context, this girl and I have known each other for 6 months, dating for one, as she was in a committed relationship before. We met at the gym, we practiced the same sport, and became friends. We got closer as friends. She decided to end things with her ex, and I made my move. Before that, I kept all interactions to friend stuff. Before we started dating, we made clear that we were looking for something serious. Lately, a mutual friend of ours, which she has told me months ago she finds attractive, also because he's very successful in our sport, started going out with another girl. We know that attends the same gym. When I told her, she initially sounded happy for him. But then, over text, she said, anyway, it's not fair. I wanted him. You could have gotten with her. I was quite shocked and answered, what kind of sentence is that to say? And then told her that she was still on time to try and get with him. She then switched subjects, and when she realized I wasn't having it, she said she was just joking and that, you know, I only want you. And when I said I didn't feel like this was a thing to joke about, she said she didn't mean to hurt me and that she was really sorry about it. I then tried to work my reasoning out with her by trying reversing roles and asking her how she would have felt, and she said that if she knew I was joking, she would have taken it lightly. She later tried to reassure me and said she was sorry again. Last night I had trouble sleeping and went to the gym in the morning. I paid very little attention to her. We have agreed not to bring relationship stuff into the gym, and she gave me my space. Later, we spoke in the car about it again. She cried, saying she felt like she gave me enough security and trust via her actions during this month of dating, so that a joke such as this could be said without anyone getting hurt, and I explained my feelings more in detail. I told her that unfortunately I have already experienced stuff of a similar fashion in my past with other people. So I'm particularly sensitive about topics like this one, and I find it difficult to recognize clearly what is bothering me because of my trauma and what is a clear issue in the relationship. This doesn't change the fact that what she did was wrong, but I asked her to be extra gentle and patient with my reaction to it. She agreed and said again that she was sorry, that she wants me to feel safe and peaceful. She then asked me if I needed some time alone, and I said yes. I feel like the way she handled the discussion was appropriate, and I also think she was truly sorry about it. But somehow, I can't shake this gut feeling of hurt. Maybe I just need a little more time. TLDR, the girl I'm dating jokingly said our mutual friend should have gotten with her instead of me, and it hurt me. She apologized, but I'm not sure about how I feel. Yeah, definitely one of those "I'm only joking because I was being a little bit serious and you took it badly" moments. Yes, time to look for something else. Don't waste your time with this one. Why then get with me if he was still single when she dumped her ex? He probably doesn't want her. Dude, she was in a committed relationship that she ended because to date you after a few months and then she pulls out this kind of talk 1 month into your relationship? I don't think she understands what commitment means or respect for one's partner. If you're just looking for a fun casual relationship to pass the time with, then sure, keep dating her and enjoying it while it lasts. Because I don't think it will be long before some other attractive guy pulls her interest. But if you're actually looking for a life partner, I think you have enough data on her at this point to know she's not the one. That's 100% exactly the right things to say right there. She didn't end it specifically to get with me. If that is what you're implying, if you're not, I mean no offense. I waited for her to end it on her own without exposing my romantic interest to be sure that she genuinely wasn't jumping ships. 1 month after a serious relationship, she started another one. A month after that, she said she preferred a good-looking guy and wished she was with him instead of you. Sounds like a serial monogamous. Don't bring it up again. It's still early, so your relationship will fail if you do. You seem determined to stay with her, but also to argue on her behalf to everyone here. What most people in a post are trying to convey to you is that they don't think this relationship will work in the long term. In the short term, she's going to stay with you because she's afraid of being alone. She was just in a long-term relationship and knows how to act for the most part. And after only a month, she has spent a lot of time assuaging you on this matter. But you're here because you are still upset. The story reads like neither person is super happy or ready to be in a relationship. Update 2 days later. Yesterday we had an open conversation about it because I felt like there was some things left unsaid. We talked for hours and we both opened up about our past and what was going on in our heads during these events. To sum it up, the reason behind her saying that joke, she said she wanted to make me purposefully feel jealous. She expected to trigger me into saying something along the lines, "What the fuck? Fuck that, you're mine, and I want you, not her." I realized this is manipulatory behavior. I told her and she apologized. See next point. The deep reason why she acted this way to get attention. She explained to me that she has had deep issues with both her parents and past partners regarding not feeling loved / being ignored / being left alone. I was already fully aware of some stuff, but I hadn't realized the extent of it all. She explained some stuff that happened to her and that she doesn't know how to cope with it, so sometimes she just gets too clingy, but other times she pulls shit like this. She agreed to start therapy immediately to work on her issues. She had already looked into it on her own and asked me to have a look at a couple of resumes of the therapists she liked the most. The dynamic with our friend. Since some of the stuff that happened didn't add up, I asked her point blank what her thoughts about the situation were. She told me that while it is true that she finds him to be an attractive guy, she perceived that as necessary but not enough to consider him a potential partner. Because she felt that, other than the sports side of things, they didn't have anything else in common that could click. She also told me that if she had anything in mind, she would have made a move on him on the occasions that they were at the gym or in a competition without me. She also seemed to be aware that he finds her to be attractive in a she's pretty kind of way. In our conversation, I also opened up about my past and the way that stuff like this, even if more serious, has already hurt me and left me sensitive over these matters. She offered, while she starts her therapy, to give me space and try to control her clinginess to let me work my thoughts out about this. While I think what has happened isn't good at all, especially considering how early it happened in a relationship, I do believe that there may be a silver lining to it. Does this sound reasonable? TLDR, I had an open conversation about it with her and realized the reasons for it were far deeper than I expected. She apologized and agreed to go to therapy to work on her issues, and we cleared up the friend dynamic. How hard up for companionship are you? Dating a month and already getting therapy to fix a relationship. If you stick, then you are both fools. OP is just a rebound, and this relationship will run for a year at max.